Years old and says he'd like to stay in the game, perhaps as an advisor. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is in the concussion protocol. He started feeling symptoms while traveling back from Monday night's loss against the Vikings. Head coach Kyle Shanahan says there's still time for Purdy to be cleared and play Sunday against the Bengals. Buccaneers offensive lineman Matt Filer is out for tomorrow night's game against the Bills with a knee injury. Defensive lineman Vita Vea will probably be a game-time decision. Buffalo tight end Dawson Knox out for that game with a wrist injury.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, the World Series is all set. I'll go around the bases and tell you what you need to watch for. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Listen each Friday to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by the Huntsville Sports Commission on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Glad to be with you tonight. We just had the sound return to our little ears thanks to Jackson, so we're good to go. And this is Bill Crawford here, Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, alongside the human Ouija board, Steve Cripey. Steve, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Get the mic set up here. I was a little coming in big.
There we go. We're all straight now. Well, hey, folks, tonight, a couple of things, just some business to tend to. If you would like to get a $50 gift certificate to Nick's Ristorante, all you have to do is call the show. You don't have to go on the air. Just give your name to Jackson, who is our producer, 256-576-4977, and you'll get that $50 gift certificate to Nick's. And as long as we're talking about Nick's, which is just a driver and a pitching wedge south of the intersection of Bailey Cove and Weatherly, he's got his boxes out now where they collect any and all things for soldiers. They'll be out until Thanksgiving. If you make a donation, you will get a 25% off card. And also the 10th and the 11th of November is when they have their Elvis impersonator. Thank you very much. He's very good. And so drop by and see Nick's. And as far as the boxes go, anything you think a deployed soldier would need, socks, candy, snacks, just bring it on down.
Box of cigars.
A box of cigars, too. That's right. So so we're here with you tonight. And just, Steve, just a little bit about our show. Steve and I were both at the Army LSU game, and I got the opportunity to meet the Silver Wings parachute demo team. They're going to be calling in tonight at 7:15 to tell us a little bit about what they do. And at 7:30, we're going to do something we normally don't do. We're going to open the phone lines. We want to hear from you. And we're going to have a little ribald discussion about our entry into the AAC.
Yeah, we might tee up that conversation just a little bit, and so we'll see and maybe get the things going, and then everybody can call in and weigh in with their perspective. And as we were talking before the game or the broadcast here. That's something I probably could debate either side of it. I see the merits, I see the downside, but we won't know how it's going to turn out without jumping into the deep end of the pool. So,
well, we will jump into said deep end. And speaking of the debating of the merits of stuff, let's talk a little bit about the LSU game where we were at. And Steve, I'd like to open it up with some big, huge compliments to some folks. One, the West Point alumni group that's down there, they put on an awesome event before the game. We were both there.
Yeah, it was a tremendous 3-hour-long tailgate, copious amounts of food and good beverages. It was very well done. And the sports bar there that walk-ons.
Walk-ons, yeah.
Yeah, which is literally a walk-on from Tiger Stadium, which is real convenient. Did a fantastic job. But I will say across the fan base there was treated very well. You can tell that's a very patriotic part of the country, and there was no smack talking, none of that. They were before or after during the game very gracious hosts.
Yeah, normally the LSU fans boo the opposing team when they come onto the field. That such was not the case with the Army team. They cheered them, gave them a standing ovation. And also the city of Baton Rouge had some kind of signs written in Cajun welcoming Army to the city of Baton Rouge. I never did really understand what that word was, but we were glad to be there. The hospitality was great, and
and one thing we've talked about over the years is one of the reasons opposing teams love Army to visit them is Army's fan base travels very, very well. And you had a relative that confirmed that.
Yeah, we had one of our Cajun cousins, Cousin Danny. He was down there, and he goes to every LSU game. And I brought him to the tailgate, and he told me later that he had never seen anything like that from any opposing team in all of his times that he's been going to LSU games. And he said it was very impressive, and it was pretty I mean, we had some good Cajun food, like you said, lots of refreshing adult and other beverages, and then we had to go play a football game.
Yeah, and I think all of us knew we were going to be overmatched, but we just wanted to see the Army team get out there, give it their all. And I will say, in the midst of it, when you're watching it live and close to the emotions of the game, it was easy to come away with, oh man. And you look at the final scoreboard, it was not a happy ending. But read several people that a couple days later went back, watched the game again, and really saw some positives there. And, the 4 turnovers, which is actually 7 turnovers when you think about the going forward on 4th down unsuccessfully and turning it over on downs, turn the ball over 7 times. That's tough to, even keep it close. But the thing I think, where a little grace, if you will, is appropriate here. You talk to any football player that's transitioning from the high school game to the college game, and they always, almost universally, say that the toughest transition is the speed of the game. It is so much faster at the collegiate level. So we had 2 plebe quarterbacks that took overwhelming majority of the snaps, and so they're still in the process of adjusting to the speed of the college game. Now they run into one of the top programs in the country that is just stocked throughout their roster with 4- and 5-star athletes, many of whom are going to play on Sunday. Formidable challenge. Having Bryson Daly out, Isaiah Alston, our tight end, having those key players out really made a tough challenge all the more formidable.
Well, yes, that's putting it lightly. And one of the hidden good things about that is we ain't going to see nobody like that no more for the rest of the year. And these guys are going to go into the other games, and hopefully they're going to say, hey, we played one of the best teams in the country, and we played them. We played them tough.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be benefits. The fact that we came out of the game relatively injury-free. I'm not aware of a significant injury that came out of that game, which is fantastic. But now having played against one of the top defenses, one of the top offenses, and just a lot of top skill players in the country, now as we go into the balance of the schedule, I think that bodes well for us. I think we're going to be ready.
Well, I think we are too, and we'll be ready for our break right now as the music lets us get out of here. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to Sergeant First Class Jose Castillo and Staff Sergeant Burgess Matthew, the guys who jumped the ball into the game, which, according to many people, that was one of the highlights. I thought it was too. This is Crawdad, back in a few.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Score big deals at Baumhauer's this football season and order from our Inflation Bites menu. Try our Buffalo Wing Special with fries and a complimentary beverage for only $9.99. And what's football without a cold beer? Our pitchers of Yingling and Yingling Flight are only $7.99, served all day, 7 days a week. And huddle up, football fans. Sign up today for our free NFL Pick'em contest at Baumhauers.com for weekly prizes. Baumhauers, legendary fun and legendary food.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high, but so is average consumer debt? Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go higher and go Army.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's hunting and tailgate season and time to get serious about an F-150. We've got nearly 140 to choose from, and without a doubt, one of the best F-150 values on the road today is our STX package. You get 290 hard-working horses mated to a 10-speed transmission that'll take you everywhere, from that tree stand to downtown Tuscaloosa. Body-colored bumpers, halogen headlamps, 20-inch machined aluminum wheels, and lots of tech, like a rear-view camera with dynamic hitch assist, which you boaters and RVers will love. A 2023 Woody Anderson Ford F-150 STX packs a punch, but it doesn't cost you a bunch. You can drive one for $474 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $51.66 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends October 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Come test drive an F-150 STX today. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show each Sunday morning at 11, presented by Freedom Marine Center on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford alongside Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board. And this is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, where we talk everything and anything Army football, but we're going to deviate just a wee bit from that for this segment because we've got an interesting guest on the line. I just happened to have the good fortune to stay at the hotel with the Silver Wings parachute demo team. Got to know these guys a little bit, and a lot of people were most complimentary of their jump into the stadium. So I've got one of the members on the team, Sergeant First Class Jose Castillo. Jose, are you there?
I am, sir. I'm here with Staff Sergeant Matthew Burgess as well. Hey, good evening.
Hey.
Good evening. Good to talk with you all.
Good to talk to you guys. And, it's not often that we get an opportunity to talk to people like you guys on the air. So tell us a little bit about what goes into a jump into a stadium for the game, kind of from the day you get there on the ground till the time you exit the plane, or the helicopter in this case.
Well, for our team, sir, we're a part-time team, so we see what kind of support we can get because other people have their actual jobs that they're doing, anything from artillery, infantry. We have riggers. We have a plethora of different jobs going on. So we try to get the support. Once we verify we can get enough support, we decide what kind of flags the team wants to jump and all that. Gets coordinated with Dale Warner. We have our team van, and we travel on the road, get to wherever we're going. Doesn't matter how far. We've gone to Washington, we've gone to Texas, Louisiana, obviously. So get there a couple days before, get settled in, go meet with the team or the show sponsor, whoever is our point of contact. See what they want us to do. Finish coordinations. Then day prior, we go see the show site. Sometimes we have a practice jump into the area. Sometimes we don't. Like this one at LSU, it was just the day of is when we actually got into the stadium. But typically we like to do a practice jump if we can, depending on weather and depending on time. So then we'll get in there day of, get there a couple hours early, do a coordination with the air crew, whatever it may be. This time we had a military air crew with UH-60. Sometimes we have our own pilot. It varies depending on the demo. But for this one specifically, we had a UH-60. We had a partnership with the military unit there. So we got with them a couple hours early, decided what we were going to do, decided the altitude we're going to go, depending on time, depending on when they wanted the kickoff, all that stuff. So then, honestly, because of the lack of our knowledge of the area, we a lot of times we look at the map, learn where we're going to go, and we just do it live, sir. Honestly.
Well, let me.
That's fascinating. So. I think it goes without saying a football stadium with 100,000 people in it is not your typical LZ. So what's that like jumping into that kind of environment? And you got to have a pretty tight shot group going in there.
Well, I'll let the Tight Shop group, Matthew Burgess, go ahead and talk about that one.
It's extremely intimidating, but at the end of the day, we all have a tendency of falling back on our skill set that allows us to be able to jump these high-profile demos like we do. We typically like to backwards plan off of, setting our feet on the tiger's eye from our base, final, and downwind leg all the way up to our canopy drift, and then our free fall drift all the way up to our exiting the aircraft. So we backwards plan all the way up to inbound run, and then, fingers crossed it all goes exactly how it's supposed to, based on what the winds are doing, based on all the planning prior to. And like you saw, it has a, great odds of working out.
Well,
aim small, miss small is what we say.
There you go.
Well, hey, let me ask you this, Matthew, just quickly. Has it ever gone really bad? Like, have y'all ever missed the complete aim point or anything like that? Or are you always pretty much right on the money like you were last Saturday?
So we're qualified to jump in much higher winds, but our wind tolerance for stadiums is 14 knots at the lip of the very top of the stadium, which puts us well below our threshold in order to navigate the winds inside the stadium. So it's very manageable based on our skill sets. Once we get in, you kind of blank out the obstacles, honestly. I mean, it really is not that small. Getting into it is most difficult. Knowing where the obstacles are is difficult. But a pro rating demonstration area is only a box of 20 feet by 40 feet. So you have to be able to hit 20 feet by 40 feet consecutively in order to get your pro rating for parachuting. So landing on a massive football field really isn't that difficult. But again, like I said, you aim small, you miss small. So if you're aiming right for the 50 and you hit between the 35s, it's a good day.
Honestly, when you're getting your pro rating, there isn't 100,000 people screaming. So it makes it a little easier to get your pro rating than actually getting into a stadium. And about 2,000 feet, you can actually hear the fans going crazy. So you got to learn to drown that out too, because that is very intimidating, especially a place like LSU. I know I flew over the jumbotrons and just hope I didn't hit the jumbotrons.
So I need an honest answer here. Do you have like a beer riding on who gets close and those kind of things?
Every time, and I always say, like, if I mess up, at least I recover well. If I brought the game ball in, I stumbled, I did the bear crawl, but when I got up, it looked like I came out like Phoenix Rising.
Well, that little thing where you came out like Phoenix Rising was on the SEC the network. They have a football final show, and that was what they that's what they led off with. So that was cool. Another thing you mentioned about getting
Bring it like Matt, but not like me, looking good when you mess
up. You mentioned getting support. Now, as I understand it, you guys do this voluntarily, and you pretty much got to pay your own expenses.
Yes, sir. So typically the show sponsor, the organization bringing us in, will they obviously foot the bill for the aircraft, and they foot the bill for like any overnighting we do. So our hotels are paid for, but a lot of the time, and I say a lot of the time, meaning over 80%, all of our food and our transportation during is all out of our own pocket. I mean, we do this because we love the Army, we love the sport, and we love making people happy.
That's fantastic. So what is the path from going from a M1 A1 super duper paratrooper to being in a demonstration team like this and getting that pro certification?
It's intense, gentlemen. It really is. It's not for the faint of heart. For us, especially being part-timers, it's a lot of weekends. At the beginning, it's a lot of waiting. When you're a student of the sport, winds play a factor. So you do a lot of waiting around, and you have to really be dedicated to get into the sport. And obviously there's a slight financial burden that comes with it. But we are all willing to put in our time. And I mean, we all have families, we all have children, wives, girlfriends. But it's really not that easy. I mean, in order to get your pro rating, at a minimum, you need 500 jumps. And I mean, everybody that you've seen jump into the stadium last Saturday has years of experience. And it takes some time and it takes some dedication. It's not just you go and do it. No, it's like I said, especially for part-timers, it can take a toll. You can't take this on lightly, to be honest with you.
Well, let me ask you this. Given the fact that you're kind of the show dog of the Army when that happens, not only for the people in the stadium, pretty much for everybody watching the game, do you get any career benefits out of that at all? I mean, do like your superiors say, hey, you know, you're a better than average bear soldier because you're doing this for the good of the Army, or is it just like being in some sort of hunting club or something where you do it on your own on the weekend?
So to be completely honest with you, so all of this stuff does run through the proper channels, through our chain of command, all the way through MCOE, the team that we're actually attached to. So everybody's tracking what we do. So when we go out and we do community outreach things of this nature, it does look very good for us when we go out and execute and represent the Army honorably. There are no career benefits with it because this is not our job. This is our volunteer hobby, if you will. So where some military installations have a voluntary kickball league or a motorcycle club or something of that nature, we just so happen to be a part of an Army demonstration parachute team. It's a little more serious than just your average club because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's funding involved. However, you know, it doesn't benefit us in the long run. Like me, myself, I'm a 11 Bravo infantryman, and Sergeant Castillo is he's a 13 Fox artilleryman. So,
Bravo.
13 Bravo. Yeah, it has no bearing in our career fields. But when we walk away from this, and if we both retire, it'll have long-lasting effects on how much we enjoyed the Army.
And I mean, all these certifications and all these qualifications we have are civilian certifications and qualifications. So once we get out, if we choose to pursue this as a lifestyle, we already are certified and qualified to continue on outside of the Army.
That's fantastic. Well, I will tell you, as a veteran, you guys were tremendous ambassadors for the United States Army, and we were talking to two old soldiers here, and you did us proud. So well done, brothers.
Yeah, well done, and thank you for your time. And I was honored to get to meet you guys at the hotel in the lobby over a couple of cold ones. And y'all take care and keep doing good things. And good to talk to you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No blood on the risers, okay?
Absolutely. We appreciate your time, guys.
All right, and this is Crawdad. We'll be back in just a few. Thank you.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do afterpaint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
The Huntsville Sports Commission is driven by you, driven by those with grit, determination, and a goal to succeed. This is why we do what we do. The Huntsville Sports Commission promotes an enhanced quality of life in the Huntsville area through sports. We work hard to make sure those who come to Huntsville to compete have all they need to be the best they can be. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports. Find out more at huntsvillesports.org.
Buongiorno, Tom Chapman from Nick's Ristorante here with Chef Joey Kindred. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Seriously? What's so great about being chef at Nick's?
Serving award-winning 21-day aged certified Angus beef, fresh seafood, and third-generation Italian family recipes.
That and an awesome owner, right?
So, if I say yes, do I get a raise?
No. What else should people know about Nick?
We showcase local musicians and have a cigar-friendly bar and bistro.
Time to put you on the spot, Chef. What's the phone number?
256-489-8280.
What's the website?
nicksrestaurante.com.
And what are the hours?
Doors open at 5 o'clock, Tuesday through Saturday. Dining room closes at 9. Bar closes depending on volume.
Molto bene, Chef. It's time to say goodbye, Joey.
Goodbye, Joey.
Come on, man.
Okay, how's this? Ciao e buon appetito.
Nice. Horrible accent, but nice. So again, please come see us at Nick's. Can't wait to see you there.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody, to Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Bill Crawdad Crawford, along with Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board. And before we get into our next segment, just a little point. I spoke with Brian Hamaker of North Alabama Mortgage today, and he told me this, that now is not the time to be scared of a high interest rate. He said the housing prices have stabilized, and you can go ahead and they can work with you and get a deal that will make you happy. And then later on, when the rates go down, you can refinance. And especially if you're a VA customer, that would still work for you. So check it out at northalabamamortgage.com. Brian and his team can make it work for you. I know from personal experience. Well, Steve, we're gonna throw the phone number out, and if anybody would like to give us a shout during this segment, 256-576-4977. We'd love to hear from you. And,
and if it's posted there on our Facebook page, feel free to do that. And if you're on your mobile device, you can just key right off of that. And if I may, before we move on,
I think you may.
Before we move on and maybe talk about AAC membership and maybe even UMass, couple final comments on the LSU game, because coming out of that, you'd like to think, okay, what's the silver lining? There were some good things. We had a running back, that had another 100-yard game, and against a stout defense like LSU, that bodes well for the future. But it's sort of a periphery kind of silver lining. Notice this after the game. The Army team, had more total yards against LSU, a top-tier Power 5 team, than Navy had against Air Force.
And we hate Navy.
Yes, that's right. But still, it's when you rack and stack, okay, a loss is a loss. Got it. at the same time, I think that's that bodes well for certainly our game against Navy. That even given the state of our offense right now, as it tries to find its rhythm and identity, Navy is struggling even more. Yeah, Navy only got 124 yards total offense against Air Force. We got 193 yards against LSU, which is not something you're going to go brag about. But again, you bounce that against 7 turnovers total. Not bad, but considerably better than how Navy fared against Air Force.
And one other little note on that silver lining, our running back, Kanye Udo, this is his second 100-yard rushing game in a row, and it was against LSU, and he looked pretty dadgum good. And also one other little thing, we were missing our quarterback, Bryson Daly, our tight end, Ligenfelter, and wide receiver, Isaiah Alston, so
yeah, big playmakers there.
Big playmakers that were not there. And one other little thing, we've had punting woes the last couple of games. Not this time. Our punter averaged 47 yards a punt. So
yeah. Cooper Allen last 2 weeks prior to LSU really struggled in the inclement weather punting department. But yeah, coming out of LSU, he averaged 47 yards a kick, which is respectable by anyone's standard, and that's second only to his punting performance at UTSA, where he averaged 48.5.
And by the way, he had a lot of chances to let that average go bad, but he did good, had quite a few punts. So on to some news of the future. This is for the next upcoming season, FY24. We've been tracking this all year, but it was announced, I think, today, that Army is going to be joining the American Athletic Conference in 2024.
Yeah, and the rumors were out there. I think the AAC made the announcement, but the superintendent and Mike Buddy, the athletic director, kicked out an email, I think about 3:30 Central, I think is when I saw it, making the formal announcement. So, yes, it is official out there. And if you haven't read the official quotes out there, there's an excerpt there from Mike Buddy's statement. And, again, I could debate either side of this. I see the merits. I see some of the potential pitfalls. But I think the deciding factor is you take all this in, given the changing climate of college football, conference alignment, and that it was getting progressively harder and harder and harder to schedule quality opponents. And once this next round of conference consolidation happens, the degree of difficulty of scheduling is going to go up to the next level. So this puts us in a position where we're going to have 8 opponents fixed each year. You throw in Army Navy on top of that. We've still got a couple free slots there. Probably one is going to be an FCS. Another one, we can still schedule that top-tier Power 5 opponent. So I think that leads to a good scheduling mix purely from a scheduling standpoint.
And, there's been a lot of debate amongst alumni, particularly on our Facebook page, as to whether or not this is a good thing or a bad thing. I, for one, think it is a good thing. I think it's, like you said, for scheduling. I think the money is going to be there if you're aligned with a conference. And one other little hidden gem is that there's a lot of Conference USA schools that are within driving distance, and I think
in our neck of the woods, this is good. I mean, we got Memphis about 3 hours down the road. We got UAB 2 hours to the south, and then even expanding it beyond that. There are other accessible. You could make a weekend trip, within driving range. So for the folks that are in the southeast, good news, especially those folks in Texas, because we're entering into a conference with 3 Texas teams. SMU is exiting, but you've got UT San Antonio, you've got Rice, and you've got North Texas, and so we've played those teams in the mix. Matter of fact, we already had Rice on the schedule for next year, so that will likely remain. But one of the big obstacles, and Joel Gray, kudos to you, brother, for your post. really highlighted some of the financials, if you will, because one of the things that being an independent, Army had to schedule their opponents way out in advance. They have sort of a sliding about 5-year schedule. Well, when you sign a contract, there's an exit fee, and I think the original exit fee was about $85 million. That was negotiated down to $35 million, and I think that's a joint cost share between West Point and the American Athletic Conference.
And it's going to be also good for probably bowl game chances for us. There's just a lot of upsides to it, and I think the main thing though is scheduling. We won't have to scramble to fill the schedule anymore, and I do believe the independents are going to go by the wayside. So we'll see what our callers have to say.
Yeah.
Jackson, go ahead and bring our caller on. Caller, how you doing?
Hi, you guys there? Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Sure can.
Hey, this is the little Crawdad. First-time caller, long-time listener. Glad to be on the show.
Well, good to have you. What's up?
Well, hey, I just wanted to comment on two things. For the LSU game, it was even though it was a blowout, it was fun to see Army playing an SEC school, but playing LSU on the big screen on ESPN. It was really fun to see it, and I hope that with the move to the new conference, we're able to kind of schedule some out of conference games that are big time games like that.
Yeah, agree.
It was really cool to see. The other thing too, and I know you guys were at the game in Baton Rouge, but one cool thing they showed on the ESPN was that the quarterback, Champ Harris, and he's the true starting freshman plebe quarterback, but they showed a clip of him working out and getting reps with Lamar Jackson.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And I thought that was cool. Now, could his performance during the game against LSU been a little better? Yes, but I think he's got a lot of potential going forward, and I hope that as the season finishes out, if Bryson Daly doesn't come back and he stays in there, if he gets those reps and he gets a bit more seasoned, then next year he could potentially be a great drop back quarterback for this new offensive style. So we'll just see how it goes. But I was somewhat impressed with his performance as the starting quarterback against LSU on the road.
Yeah, under the big lights. Yeah, great comments, and I think you're exactly right. And that's been the consistent comments for those of us who have gone back, looked at the videos. With a few days removed from the emotion of the loss, and you see some bright spots there. There was some solid blocking by the offensive line. Couldn't get those sustained drives going, but you're exactly right. Really, both of the plebe quarterbacks showed some flashes there, and if they can get a little consistency under their belt, and like you say, get those reps under their belt, then I think that bodes well for the future.
Oh, I do believe that that's the toughest opponent they'll see for the rest of the year, without a doubt. So I will go ahead and let you go.
Thanks. Appreciate the call. Great comments.
Yeah, beat UMass and beat Navy.
There you go. Beat them.
See you Saturday.
Yeah, and maybe looking at the AAC membership. One of the things that I looked up on Massey, which I sort of my go-to poll because it's an aggregate poll. Right now they're averaging 70 different polls that are out there. They roll them all together. And as you look, let's start at the conference level. Right now, the American Athletic Conference is ranked number 9 out of the 11 FBS conferences. So we're not coming into a world beater conference. I really think we're going to be competitive there, and I'll break that down by the team kind of thing. And we're coming into a conference where I think, we're struggling right now, but I think we'll be very competitive going forward.
And we're coming into a conference of some of our peers, teams that we can play with, not the SEC. So this is Crawdad. We'll be back in a minute. We'll try to get into a little bit more of that, but we got a couple of callers standing by. Back in a second.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here to enjoy another great football season with y'all. And guess what? The salmon are running, so make sure you try our delicious lemon garlic salmon. And for you land lovers, try our sizzling char grill flat iron Callaway steak, complemented with our special shrimp etouffee. And you'll definitely want to tackle our Alabama hot chicken, smothered in our zesty and tangy, immune-boosting special Alabama hot sauce. Baumhauer's legendary fun and legendary food.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Is your AC system or heating unit making those sounds that go bump in the middle of the night? Thomas here from Talon Heating and Air again. Thomas, you guys are just a phone call away from keeping those ghosts and goblins from causing nightmare problems.
That's right. We're offering a $59 special right now to do a heating tune-up. That's getting your air conditioner or your heater ready for the wintertime. We're also doing a free gas safety inspection along with that. So if you have gas in your home, we have Master Gas here on staff. We're certified with the state to take care of all your gas issues. So we're going to throw that in with that $59 tune-up.
And if you can get that tune-up now, it'll be ready to go once the cold temperatures set in.
That's right. Yeah, all you have to do is give us a call at 256-503-4490. Visit us at our website, talenthvac.com. We'll be more than happy to get out there and get you tuned up.
One more time with the phone number.
256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air. Don't let those heating and cooling units go bump in the night.
AL cert number 21014.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat, and that's going to be to your benefit too when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. From the gorgeous long views of the lake from the Bluff Side rooms to dinner at the Pinecrest room, Guntersville State Park needs to be on your bucket list this year. What an ideal place for a family staycation or a romantic getaway. Guntersville State Park has it all. This is a great time to book your visit, and depending on the time of year, you might want to bring the clubs and take in a round at Eagle's Nest. Make plans today to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. If it didn't exist, you'd have to invent it. Guntersville State Park.
Want to see what I bring to the party?
Congratulations to The Drive as we celebrate a decade of Wes and Steve. Here's to 10 more.
Now Sonny and Cher would say, that's on you, babe.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody, to the last segment of Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. We got a couple more callers standing by, and then we'll do a little bit of a breakdown on the UMass Minutemen. I think we have Sam standing by first. Sam, are you there?
I am. I'm here.
Hey, Sam, tell us what's on your mind.
Well, and Steve, good to meet you Friday night.
Yeah, likewise. That was a good time.
I won't talk about anything we talked about there. That's all.
That's right. What happens in Baton Rouge stays in Baton Rouge. There you go.
Yeah, a couple things. I've heard a lot of people talking about we don't need to play LSU. LSU is really good, but I think for recruiting, games like that, one a year, are awesome, people tend to forget, we just took Michigan and Oklahoma with the Heisman Trophy to overtime, played tight against Wisconsin. Kind of a confluence this weekend of us being really down and them really hitting their peak. But I think it was a great experience for us as alumni and the people that went. But for the team,
couldn't agree more.
But just Bryson being out, some other things, we weren't going to beat them. But I think it would have been a lot more competitive. I think as far as the conference goes, one of the things you talked about, the freshman running back, we got a heck of a freshman center too that's playing every down and really anchoring the offensive line and doing a great job there. I watched him a little bit Saturday night, and he's holding his own against the LSU guys as a freshman center, and hopefully anchoring that offensive line for the next 3 years after this. And then the last thing I'd comment, a lot of people have talked about the conference. Not sure I like it, but I think it's the thing we have to do and need to do right now. I think you talked about the scheduling. I'm in Texas. I'm looking forward to that. Some games here and different things. I think scheduling, everybody's talked about, it's been really hard. I don't get excited about two FCS teams coming to West Point and doing things like that. So I think the scheduling will be good. I think it'll help recruiting overall. I think the good thing for us is they wanted us. And when somebody wants you, you're in a much better negotiating position than when we figured out that, hey, we can't schedule, we need to get in a conference, and we got to go talk to people about begging to get in a conference or doing things. But with SMU leaving, they needed somebody. The stars kind of aligned, hopefully, that way. And I think it just made a lot of sense for us to go now. But, again, because they wanted us, and from a negotiating position, that's a heck of a lot better position to be in.
Fantastic comments. I couldn't agree with you more on the scheduling that elite Power 5 team from a recruiting standpoint. And Monken has beat that drum consistently in a lot of the press conferences that, high school football players dream about being on that kind of stage. And if West Point can provide that one game a year, that's a huge draw from a recruiting standpoint. So, excellent.
And the other thing, Sam, one thing to add to that is we still retain our CBS Sports Network contract.
Correct.
So that's good.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. I think that's great. And I hope they put no Thursday and Friday night games at Mikey. We can go on the road and play those with somebody, but hopefully we don't have those Thursday and Friday night games.
Yeah.
All right, Sam.
That would not be a lot of fun.
Yeah, good.
Well, hey, Sam, thanks for the call. We'll go ahead and let you go, and let's bring Joel in. Joel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, kind of switching subjects a little bit. What about bowl eligibility this year? We play 12 games, 2-5, but we could be 7-5.
Yeah. The challenge there is twofold. One, only one of the wins against an FCS opponent count, and we've already got that under our belt. So when we play Holy Cross, provided we come out with a W, that does not count. The other thing that handicaps us a bit is we have to have our 6 bowl qualifying wins prior to Navy, since the weekend prior to Navy is when they make the bowl game allocations. So I think our only path there is to get 5 wins by Navy and hope that other teams, they don't get enough qualifying 6-win teams. Then they open the aperture a little bit. West Point is always a great target for a bowl invitation because we travel very well. We bring a crowd with us, and that really adds to ticket sales. So it's a long shot at this point. A lot of things we're dependent on other teams to sort of falter down the home stretch and not get those 6 bowl qualifying wins.
And also, if there are not enough teams with 6 qualifying wins, there is a academic rating formula that comes into play that may help us out, obviously. So it doesn't look good this year, Joel. Let's put it that way. I'm not counting our bowl game, and our season to me is going to be the Commander-in-Chief's trophy and a win over Navy. So.
Yeah. So the big one is Air Force right now.
Oh yeah. And they're playing solid. Although they've played a very weak schedule. It's probably about 30 places lower than ours. But they're playing solid. They took down Navy, but I tell you what, that was a defensive battle, and Air Force's lone touchdown was really on sort of just a broken down coverage, and it was like a 95-plus yard touchdown. So that was a real defensive battle. I don't see them in a different league kind of thing. If we can pull some things together against UMass, I think we can get there.
Plus, a lot of the Air Force players are about ready to file for Medicare because they've been there so long. Well, hey, Joel, thanks for the call.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. So, Steve, we got a couple of minutes. Let's talk real quick about UMass. They're 1-7. They are one of the worst teams in the country, ranked number 131. So, what are you thinking about this game in the 2 minutes we have left?
Yeah, I mean, real quick, statistically, I mean, we've played a tougher schedule, and yet we're across almost every statistical category, we're ahead of them. They are just a floundering team, one of the worst in penalties. I mean, just there's nothing. If I'm coaching them, there's nothing I can point to them from a statistical standpoint and say, well, at least we do this well, because they don't do anything well. They've been sort of quarterback by committee. They've split the time between two different quarterbacks. Between those two quarterbacks, they've been sacked 25 times, and they throw a whole lot of interceptions. So I really like our chances against them.
And also, folks, if you want to, you can listen to the game live on this very station, WZZN, at 11 o'clock Saturday. Coverage starts at 10:30. Steve, we got a minute left. Give me a quick prediction.
I think we're going to pull it all together. Again, this is a get-well game, a get-well team. I see us winning 32-14.
Last year it was 44-7. This year it's going to be 41-14. Steve, how many days?
Sir, there are 44 and a butt days until Army beats the hell out of Navy at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Well, we certainly hope that one comes true.
Oh, yeah. And like I say, silver lining, we got more total yards against LSU than they did against Air Force. So, again, Niamata Lolo had a great run at Navy, but he left that program in shambles, and they are scrambling to pull it together, to find an identity offensively, defensively. Again, defense, they weren't too shabby against Air Force, but they are, you take the degree that we're struggling offensively, multiply it by 2, and that's Navy.
Well, folks, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back same time next week, Wednesday night at 1900 hours. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford reminding you that no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, there is a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine somewhere standing a watch so you can enjoy the great life we have in this country. And we'll get out of here with a Go Army,
beat Navy,
and beat the Minutemen.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton.
When you graduate